Oxy was in a session earlier today with one of the students, one of her friends, local girl. And they were talking about the idea of memory. We're going to dabble into this idea. The memory is where your ego goes to. That's where it finds its image. That's where it finds its what? Its value. The ego itself cannot value itself of the now because the experience is unknown. The ego justifies itself with past truths. The unknowable must be scrutinized. When your reality starts to offer things of unknown nature to the nature of the ego validating these ideas, fear ensues when it is thrust upon the idea of the ego. The unfiltered portion of reality is scary to the fractal because it leads to the idea of what? Memory. Because that's the go-to, the reaction, the standard of human dynamic. The human dynamic creates the memory in the moment, and it does in such manners to relate to the equation of what's happening in your now. So Gina's having a bad time because something was thrust upon her that told her through her memory, that vibration, her filter said, this is the truth, and then the memory came in and equated it to a certain time reference of egoic structure that equates to an emotional, so she's having a shitty time. Right now you're doing good. Her answer, it will be. So she's choosing to look at her reality as shitty and giving herself that experience because, why? Not because she loathes herself, not because she loves herself, is because the image is stronger than the worth of her own awareness. So she chooses to be the image and allows herself to not experience the pain, but to be a victim of it, which is done through memory. Memory creates the moment. Memory, rather, is created in the moment. So your moment comes, and this can be in good and bad nature. Don't think everything is shitty, because it's not shitty, because I consider polarity shitty, because it's in a couch world that's prisoned by polarity, let's say, mannerisms of humanity's actions. Okay? So the idea in your world could be anywhere from awesome to bad. That's the memory is going to equate the versions of resources that the ego can use to contemplate what's happening in the now, right? To give you the emotional summation of this. Okay, this is what's going on. This is what's going on. What does the ego do? The ego has to know what the hell's going on, so it can only do that through histories. You guys keep talking, asking questions, making claims, justifying. All this shit keeps you the same validated frequency and keeps you in the same relative reality of attraction, and therefore your life is pretty much the fucking same. Oh, sure, you have a new house or new apartments or new this and new that, but you feel pretty much the same about reality. I got to be safe. I got to be secure. I got to be worried. I got to be upset. I got to be happy. I got to suffer. I got to do everything it is to be the cycle of humanity because I just don't know my way out. Well, you do. So here's what the relative reality is going to affect in your memory when you start viewing reality as different. Okay? The first line of defense is none against your world because it's your truth. You guys are afraid of fear, you can't die. You don't trust that, I can't help you. You are invincible, you are forever, and the only thing you're going to have is an experience that is just that, forever. How you relate to it, how you feel about it, how you bend it, is all your world. It's your responsibility, and you have the ability to respond to anything. It is your own truth. So now this truth is now relative. The truth has arrived in your reality, and now your filters get busy. It starts to come in, and all of a sudden the ego's like, right, real quick. Oh, boom, 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 boom. Memory, memory, memory. This is what it means. Holy shit. fear, sorrow, excitement, aggression, goals, all these things, regret, suffering, so. All instant, very quick. That's why you got to be in the now. Get the fuck out of time. So now I want you to look at this phenomenon. Watch this idea. When you guys are having a good time, does your memory bring up shitty times? When you're in the moment having a good time, does the memory bring up atrocities? You're having a good time with someone, you're out and about, and all of a sudden it brings up, your memory brings up something that is absolute nothing to do with it. No, it's impossible. It can't, because everything is vibrational match. What you put out is what you get back. Get back to the fucking law. And the law is in accordance with what your truth is, and the relative reality on how you are interpreting your reality creates the relative memories. This is the equal idea of any of you who've ever watched Bashar's 13th step. The alcoholic realizes itself, accepts itself. He didn't get in this much depth, but it is relative. And that relative reality of worthiness no longer validates an entire timeline of being an alcoholic. And since the vibratory state is that equal, everyone in his reality is the match, and so forth. They not know him as alcoholic ever. Everyone gets a new memory. Everybody. But you can't create that out of this mind trying to figure it out, because this mind is in a drug-induced coma called lack, separation, validating polarity. All right. So when you are more yourself, which is beyond polarity, your truth, no matter what, not disguising, not sugarcoating, not fainting away from your natural, your discovered self, then you're going to start to have different interpretations of frequencies, or what you call reality. Therefore, that reality is going to offer you different memorandums acquired in consciousness. Your memory complex is going to give you different frequency matches that equate to a plausible memory that is accepted by you. All right, so what does that mean? It can't give you a memory that is only what you have experienced. It gives you a memory that is equal to your truth. So in other words, you create a memory that you never lived in the physical interaction until that moment, and that moment is relative in what you call the world or the relationship with your memory, because you guys are time induced, right? Try time. So you're going about your nows, and you continue to love yourself. You quit your job, you stop lying to yourself, you tell your husband to fuck the fuck off, you say no to your kids because you just don't want to do it anymore. You start to be worthy to the self, not a hero to go, I'm a good wife, or I'm a great worker, at the expense of yourself, because that's vibration, and that's what you get in the equational emotion that's going to be attracted to your memory, and you're going to have that experience, and couched where? If you use memory, you're going to get polarity. So you start to enact on this world of love. Unconditional love for the self, not conditioned love, not your human bullshit love. Beyond polarity love, the state of being, right? So what you're going to do now is start to attract different frequencies, because you're validating whatever's coming to your reality. You're not questioning it. You're not figuring it out. You're not going, why is it like that? You're not trying to extinguish portions of your own discoveries because no longer it fits in your world. Just because it lies in history doesn't mean it's invalid. It means it's a relative reality that is a different relationship now. You got to stop thinking. You got to start being. Water time now. So as you're falling in love with yourself, choosing what you want to do, you obviously attract different potentials, frequencies. And your memory is going to change. The thing is you don't know it's going to change. That's the tough part, isn't it? Because all of a sudden you remember you had a Toyota Camry, and the next day you walk out and there's a Infinity in your driveway. It's not that you go like, what the hell is my Infinity? I don't have an Infinity. What? It's like it's always been your car. Because that's the timeline you created. You got to see that. You have 3 kids, and one day you wake up and you only have 2 kids. You never had 3 kids. Not on this memory. It's not anything happened to the other kid. They just weren't relative at the time. They're not created in your valid universe. Now. Don't add polarity. Don't fucking start painting your reality picturesque that's coming to you right now with the qualms of humanity. No, I can't have that. No, what is that? Stop. That's recognition right now of what? The way it keeps you encouched in polarity. The ego. Recognition of seeing is, oh, that's right, that's wrong. Uh-huh. Nothing's right, nothing's wrong. Everything is. The entire world. So you're going to start changing things. Some of you don't even, let's say, probabilities that you've never joined Sylvester's class, yet you encounter all the frequencies of that worthiness. So it worked, didn't it? But you don't need it. When you're done, you're done. Doesn't matter. Roxy validates Sylvester classes. She comes on here, creates this world. That's her truth now. If her truth's changed, no slide class. No one will ever miss it because you're now this self creating this memory as a reflected idea of this experience. Get over it. But as long as you guys engage in that fucking memory and keep choosing that validated polarized self, well, then what the hell do you think is going to happen? Don't you listen to me? Don't you listen to law? What you put out is what you get back. What you put out is what you get back. Everything law 2 is here and now, never there and then, but you rely on there and then, create here and now in relative reality of human polarity, taking what you get out and what you get back over and over and over again. You got to see this mastery. You got to see the work that you guys have in front of you now. Now that we got rid of all the fucking distractions. Some of you are still distracted. What's this mean? Why am I feeling shitty? Well, because you chose. But now it's the choosing of the aware self. The fractal doesn't choose to get run over by a car or to get robbed and killed. The fractal doesn't choose the ideas of why am I not winning the lottery. It's all vibration. But you, tacticians of vibration, are starting to relative your relationship with your worthiness, which is your constitution of existence, yourself. And now you're diving into that, and you can make a choice to be shitty, although you know you don't want to be, you don't have to be, but yet you still choose to be. Why? Because you love the image more than you, which is another relative reality, a relationship with the now, Gina, to say, why the hell am I feeling shitty? My image says I should feel shitty, but I don't need to. But if you want to keep playing the image game, Gina, you're good at it. You're going to have the same fucking life. Welcome to your pain. All of you can be painful or painless when you don't validate the pain by accepting the pain. You don't engage in the pain. Oh, something's wrong. Nothing is wrong. Everything is experiential. That's the mastery of emotions. You don't master to control them, you master the acceptance of them. And then you start to relate to reality different. Two people have two experiences with the same event. One is atrocious and one is, cool. How the fuck can that be? Because it is a subjective universe, isn't it? But you guys want the attention of pain because it validates what? The ego. And since Gina needed her ego validated, she says something. It will be. And she knows damn well that's lack. And Roxy knows damn well that's lack. All of you know damn well that's lack. But we all validated it. So now Gina gets to go skipping along Fandango, another now in her pain. That's all. We didn't give it to her. She accepted it. Didn't she? So it's on her. And we don't have to talk about it. But this is a class of evolution and recognition. So we're going to talk about the obscene gesture you presented to your own worthiness. In other words, you took a big fat dump on yourself. Probably after eating a fucking day's worth of Taco Bell. Pretty fucking stinky. So that's the worthiness aspect. Now, you can't change that. You can't regret that. But if you are regretting it and wanting to change it, that's another validation of the ego. Trying to change you as is. You as is all that is. That hurts, doesn't it? I can't be all that is. I suck. My life is shitty. I'm afraid. Someone comes to the door. Oh my God, they told me something. Run for the hills. Prevent. Be a dick. Fuck you. Slam the door. Be an ego. Recognize it, masters. It's your game. You, all of you, are already ascended. But you, the fractal, isn't. You understand or are aware of the fractal. And the fractal disseminates and becomes whole when you accept those portions of yours as you, as is, without 1 ounce of deflection, change. Complete vulnerability and acceptance will take that vibration and give you worth. It's a portion of you that you've been upset about by objectifying it. It's outside of me. And when you subjectify it, it becomes worthy. Because you are accepting creation as is. And that's the worthiest fucking act of love you can possibly do. Because it's your goddamn world. You're creating it. So this memory is part of that. It's part, that's where you get your emotional statuses from. Now, when you have an emotional shock, it's an unexpected because you didn't prepare for it, which is awesome. Emotional shocks are the most dynamic idea. That's some good shit there. It means you aren't controlling your fucking reality to keep yourself mediocre. Mediocre. Thank you, Roxanne. It means you're in the moment more and more so you can see what the hell is possible. But you only want what the hell is possible on the good side of things. There is no good side. There just is. So as that shock comes in and you filter it as something of consequential, anything of why, then here's all the memories that equal Y to give you the emotional equation to have your time of a life. And if it's painful, that's you. You're equating it as painful. Ego, motherfucking ego. Everything is truth, everything is valid, everything is created in the moment, in the here and the now, and you have to start being that idea. And if you don't act upon the worthiness that you are, then you're going to be here, and that's it. The way you feel right now about yourself is not going to get any better because there's nobody coming in to fucking rescue you because you ain't in pain. You're not in peril. You're not in volatility. You are in creation. This is the way you're choosing your reality to be. No one's going to interfere with you. I can't interfere with you. Why? Because there's only one of us. Okay? This memory is a big thing for you guys now. You're going to start to see how your relative reality starts to change. Now, you will notice, and I'm talking will, W-I-L, the will of the now, not you will as a potential of time, because that's just an escapism. You will know different timelines. It's just whether you start to choose to validate them. But they come in frequency matches of worthiness. So in other words, you're going to get, what happened to that store? There used to be a store there. And it's not there anymore, or it's something different. Or you get a whole new crew at Starbucks that you've never met before, but you knew they were different. Right? You're going to get experiences like that. What you're not going to get at first, listen now. Shh. Listen. You're not going to get at first two timelines. You're not going to remember one set of parents and another set of parents yet. But you will. You're not going to remember this life as a choice at 18. And then this life as the other choice at 18. But you will. Because you are will. But those things can't come to you if you are not worthy. Not worthy to the homage in God, the fear outside that humanity relies on to know its own demise. No. The God that you are. Are you worthy of this fucking awesomeness? Say it all the time. You guys shoot yourself in the foot. You sabotage your own worth by making excuses, fearing the future, not trusting your own reality that is in front of you that's so awesome, but I can't do it. These memories will come. Timelines are simple. It's back to the relative of what Grisa was talking about. The space you create. It's a room. You walk into your apartment and it has one set of furniture. You walk in the next day and it's a completely different set. Right now, you never knew either one, except the truth of that moment. It's always been there. But one day you'll know. And you're also going to know your futures too, because they're now. But those futures don't equate to the memory. The futures in the now that are probabilities aren't relied upon the fear factor of the memory to project the ideas of distraction about your future. Yeah, that sounds awesome, but what about this? 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 What about what about this? What about this? What about this? What about this? What about you need to look at this, and maybe this, right? You have that diarrhea of the mind, don't you? You don't get rid of it. You accept it. So you get different realities. In the futures, you start to see how you're going to decorate the house to the one that matches you. And you don't go out and try to get these things. They're presented in the moment. The stewards of creation are all about you, giving you what you've already created in the now. They have to come in the means. Walking down the street, see a sign. In a store, that's the perfect one. That's what I imagined. Holy shit, it's like I'm God or something. Yeah. But I can't make you accept that you're this awesome. You have to live it. Not this fucking convincing mind of affirmations. Oh, I said this 10 times. What's the matter? The living. The engagement with the worth in the now through the fractal who has forgotten its own relative truth that I am. That's where you gotta meet the grindstone. You gotta live. What should you do before you die? Well, you should fucking live. That doesn't have any conditions on it. You're going to offend people. You're going to piss people off. But what are you giving them? What truly are you giving them? The unknowable. And there is no greater act than give them what they are not. What you give them is what you are, is the conformities of your own fears, and that only validates their reality, and they stay the same. No one wakes up unless someone shines brighter. Not brighter in humanity. Look, I have a new healing modality. Look, here's the thing you have to do now to cleanse yourself. Stop. In the moment, be yourself. Your God. And then the whole dynamic of the now changes. Everything changes. Memory, potential futures, probabilities. Vibration is attracted in the here and the now. Be present and watch your reality change. You will, some things, not have any clue that change. Little things will start to notice. Right? Menus at the place that you've always eaten. They didn't change the menu. You changed the menu. Until you go like this. You know, there used to be something on the menu. I remember that as a truth, and it is your fucking truth. So guess what? That version of the waitress goes, oh yeah, we took that off. Because you created that co-created reality of truth, and the vibrational match gives you exactly what you need to validate your world. But if you don't say anything, that's a different world. They never had it in your world. But you got to drag it in because you're like, my world's only one world. I got to keep it the same. What happened? Instead of just accepting. Yeah. God, creator. And the rest of it, all of your mind, it's just human. You want to go beyond polarity, you can't use polarity. Again, said it 1,000 times, I'm going to say it 1,000 more. You got to prepare yourself by not preparing yourself. You got to love yourself by not trying to love yourself. You got to be yourself in the here and the now, and that's it. And when you're choosing to degrade yourself in the idea of degradation against the worthiness, then you're going to get a very, very worthy time of experiencing degradation. Isn't that cool? That's what it is to be a god. You create your own fucking pain. Okay. Any questions? We're going to talk quite a bit about the memory. We got some more work to do with that. All right. To sum up, the memory is created in now according to the vibrational match. An experience comes in. You equate it to an experience of the past, then the vibrational match is experience, and the memory is validated. All done, instantaneous in the now. When that same reality comes into your reality, into your awareness, and all of a sudden you don't react to it, you accept it as is, then you get a different memory that matches that frequency of allowance, of worthiness. And the experience is completely different. But the thing is, you don't know you made it different. What you did make it, what you did create, is a validative relative to your truth. That's how you're creating validation of your truth in the now. When you start to change your validation, you get different memories, different experiences, different selves to be known now through you, the creator waking up. You're not going to be a singular idea. You're going to be an expression of an infinite number of singularities. And you need to listen to that again. Okay? You're not going to express a singular idea. You're not that. You're going to express an infinite number of singular ideas. Right? Why is that possible? How is that possible? Because you are all that is. And the one. So this new memory idea is for you to engage in as an allowance, as inquisitive, as in starting to observe your reality in the now. It says, I know I put that there. I mean, you guys know. You guys know the simplest thing, right? Where's my keys? I looked there 10 times. Well, yeah, you did. And they weren't there until the relative reality became a truth, and then your keys were created right there in the moment. Nothing is in time. Nothing's there. There's no yesterday. There's no tomorrow. There's here and there's now. So as you change your relationship to worthiness, new memories will start to relate. And they are not on the good side. They are beyond polarity. So you must stay vigilant to the non-polarized self, the one that is the God creating, instead of the reactionary egoic self to always measure its reality. And then you get new things. You live in time, you have memory, you're going to use it because it's a fun fucking thing to have. It gives you not only the world of the presence, but the world of potentials and the worlds of past. And you start to relate to all of them singularly in the moment as a multiverse, huh? Start to have fun. Stop trying to nail things down. Stop trying to cord them up to keep it safe harbor, that you always know you have that truth. No, the truth is I am. And that's all created now.